Ishizu Ishtar introduced us to the iconic Egyptian gods of Yugioh, a group of three mighty servants of the pharaoh with godly powers. We all know how strong the god cards were, at least in the anime and manga. But this video is not about the differences between the TCG cards of the gods and the anime versions of them. Gods of Yu-Gi-Oh! Shall be a series where I talk about the lore of the gods in Yu-Gi-Oh! How strong are they? What did they do? What did they get used for? And what is the deeper meaning behind them? And what would be a better start to the Gods of Yu-Gi-Oh! Series than the iconic dragon of the sky, named Slifer? Well, Slifer isn't even the real name. It got localized as Slifer for some reason, but the real name is Osiris, the Saint Dragon. Osiris is a reference to a real Egyptian god with the same name. While our Osiris was the god of life and death, Yu-Gi-Oh's Osiris was the god of good and evil, which makes it a perfect fit for Atem, who was always the middle between two polar opposites. And for example, the Millennium Puzzle was also the only Millennium item that is possessed by good and evil. Besides of just being the god of good and evil, he also is the god of heaven, hence his name being the Sky Dragon. Being the god of the sky, he naturally comes with weather-changing abilities, turning a clean sky into the darkest one, howling thunderstorms. Osiris uses blasts of lightning to either weaken his enemies or to demolish them with his unlimited potential. And we learned in the final arc against Bakura that Osiris grows stronger when he is in the sky. Since Pegasus converted the text from the ancient stones of the Egyptian gods into a card game, he definitely had to make some changes. I am pretty sure that the ancient stones never said anything about having cards in your hand or having monsters on the opponent's field. So, what could Osiris' true power be? The power to decrease the opponent's monster attack and defense points by 2000 could be the intimidating aura Osiris possesses. As soon as Dol, one of Marek's rare hunters, summoned Osiris in the duel against Atem, the pharaoh himself started shaking and doubting himself, giving up in front of God and losing if Kaiba wouldn't have encouraged him back up. One problem with it is that Atem stated Obelisk's aura to be even more intimidating than that whenever he fought Kaiba in Battle City. And Obelisk doesn't have an effect like that, so that probably wasn't where his ability comes from. A fact we got to know was that Osiris is the swiftest of the gods, and Bakura talked multiple times about the speed of Osiris. So maybe his high speed was something that makes other beings look weaker or anything like that, which made Pegasus create the effect that the enemy monsters lose 2000 points. I couldn't name another option, so feel free to tell me your opinion in the comments below. The other ability of raising Osiris' points by 1000 times the cards in your hand could be derived from multiple things. Be it that the amount of cards in your hand resemble the hate that the Sky Dragon rises, which will strengthen his powers, or that we go typical Yu-Gi-Oh! Fashion and it resembles the power of bonding together with everyone. This would fit to Atem, but I think that the first option is more likely. The higher Osiris gets into the sky, the more attack potency he gets. The more cards you have in your hand, the more attack potency he gets. I think it's this road. Osiris also showed the power to emit a light that shows you visions of the past together with Obelisk whenever they were clashing each other. And the last thing I could name for his powers is that he was even able to change the sky without being summoned. In the duel against Bakura in Battle City, Atem drew the god card and at the same moment thunderstorms came out of nowhere, representing the godly powers Osiris emits even without being summoned. Besides that, he has some special attributes that are shared with the other gods, like being immune to magic and monsters below the tier of gods. And that's all what I had to say. An ancient god that controlled the skies and served the pharaoh, who gets sealed into stone tablets, being found some millennia later by Pegasus and created into a Duel Monsters card. Pegasus scared the power of the gods but didn't dare to destroy these cards and ended up getting them sealed in Egypt. Osiris later on got kidnapped by Marek, who gave it to Dol for his duel against Yugi. That's when Yugi got in control of that card and used it in several duels throughout Battle City, ending up being released after the final duel together with the pharaoh, which ends the storyline of Osiris. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a new look onto the gods on Yu-Gi-Oh! To see them as more than just Duel Monsters cards. I would appreciate you liking this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss out on any interesting Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. Have a great day and see you in my next videos. Bye!